So that is qualifying done for us. As you see, not great qualifying for me, P9 there. My teammate Luciano is the number 60, and my other teammate is David, which is the number 25 BMW. So good qualifying by those two there. Not a great one for me, unfortunately. Now going into the start of the race here, as you can see, a good start for us. Not bad, not the best, but we'll see how we get on into the first corner. That Honda, a bit slow, so I go nearly 3 wide, able to get on the outside line, which is great for getting the inside of turn 2 there. Josh, our old teammate there in the BMW, has a little bit of contact with the Bentley there going through the left-hander. Now I'm just trying to see if I can pass both of them going down to the right-hander here. And as you see, the Bentley goes a bit wide and has a bit of contact with Josh there, and that allows us to overtake both of them. And then that puts us up
Josh
to
and Bentley just died.
P8,
3 positions.
P7 after the first corner.
3 positions, first
just
sector, mate.
That
Let's go.
Honda there, you see my teammate David, and then after him is my other teammate Luciano. So great start for both of us there.
Crashed.
Now coming through here, the leaders have a bit of a tangle, and then one of them rejoins and ends up hitting my other teammate David. And so as you see, we get free position there,
David
and up into P7, I believe.
My teammate Luciano into P3, David P4, me P6.
Here now, whilst we're in P6, just trying to do what we can to hold on to the position here. Now this Audi that's coming up behind us was the one that we just saw spun a while ago, and he was in the top 3, he was one of the leaders, so I knew he was quick, so I didn't put up a fight, just let him through and tried to follow him as much as I could, because the track was greasy. It wasn't wet, it wasn't dry, it was greasy. It was horrible to drive on. It was greasy for qualifying as well, so very difficult conditions, and I just didn't have a lot of pace.
I'd rather either be
I think I was about a second off the pace of the leaders a lap, unfortunately, so I didn't have the best pace there.
David's in
but
first.
Now coming into the pits, near to the pit stop window, we've got 3 minutes till the pit stop window open.
Guys.
As you see, we've got that Audi right behind me, and I'm just doing my best to try and keep him behind
David
me.
is now leading
But
the race.
whilst I'm keeping him behind me, the Honda behind him is also very close as well.
Thought those leaders might take each other out at some point. Now, I've been defending, but I haven't really been doing much time. I was defending last lap and I set a PB, so I'm not bothered about defending because I don't seem to be losing much pace. But what I want is that Honda to try and pass this Audi, because I want them to hold each other up so I can get away from this, because I don't really want to be in a battle.
And then coming through here, as you see, I take far too much curb, completely unsettle the car, and as you see, he goes back into the back of me. Not his fault at all there, that was just me going really slow on the apex. Also, now my teammate David is up into P1, my other teammate Luciano is P5. David has gotten himself into P1, which is fantastic. Now coming into turn 1 here, 44 minutes left of the race. As you see, he's having a wee go down the inside there, but we're able to hold them off. And now the pit window is open. We get a little bit of a tap in the rear from the Audi there, very close to spinning in these greasy track conditions, but we're able to stay ahead, keep it together, just a little bit of damage.
Like 10 minutes.
And now we are still P7, my teammate Luciano P5, and watch now that Audi completely misses his braking point, nearly murders our car there, but the Honda gets through. So even though the Audi good sportsmanship let me back through, that didn't help the fact that the Honda got through. And as you see, the pit window was open. I'm wanting to pit in a few minutes, so this is really not helpful because I want a gap to be able to pit for my pit stop, and now I'm going to have to push hard to try and overtake this Honda before the pit stop before my pit stop, which is really frustrating because we had been able to stay so far ahead of the Honda. Now coming into the final 2 corners here of lap 13, as you see, I'm going to try around the outside, a little bit of contact. I think he maybe just understeered a bit with these greasy track conditions, and I maybe didn't give him enough room. But as you see, he's got quite a high ping there, which was not helpful on the exit there, so that might have been what caused the contact as well.
Come on.
Along the home straight though, about 7 minutes until I pit, and as you see,
Shouldn't
we're
even
on
been
the outside
having to
going
do
into the
this.
first corner, and I've got a good run on him there out the final corner. But coming into the
He's not
braking
gonna
zone,
make the
I
corner.
go to send it round the outside,
Mate,
but
can people
I
learn
see
to
as soon as we hit the
brake?
brakes that
Goodness
he is
sake.
no way going to make that
Like,
corner. He
as
braked
soon
far
as they're
too
trying
late,
to make a
and
move,
I'm able
just
to easily get past up
forget the
into
braking zone.
P5. But I believe this is only P6 or P7 because of the pit stops and everyone pitting, etc. Now, keep in mind that Porsche that was behind us there. Keep in mind that he was right behind us when we came into the pit stop. But at the end of the pit window, we are like 9 seconds behind the Porsche. We just completely lose it in the pit stop here, because as you're about to see, when I hit the brakes, because it's a greasy track, I do not expect the car to slide so much, go completely straight on, so I have to be pushed back by the pit crew, which then obviously cost me time. And I also forgot to untick the damage. I got a bit of damage from the Audi hitting us, and that then meant that in the pit stop it repaired it, but I didn't actually want it to, because that cost us a bit extra time. But that was my fault for forgetting to turn that off. And then when we come off the jacks,
What happened
it's
there?
not in first gear, the starter didn't work properly,
And
so it was just
my
a terrible pit
engine
stop.
start didn't work
So
either.
we
It didn't
ended
keep
up
the engine
losing
running when I
about
gave off the
9
jacks.
seconds to
That
that
was a bad
Porsche
pit
because it was
stop.
just a terrible pit stop.
If he was already in front of me
Um,
or not. I think
so
he
yeah,
was
it's
the
just
guy that
very
was right
frustrating
behind
there,
me.
unfortunately.
The undercut would have worked. It's just is that Porsche jumped us? I think it has. Jumped us by a
As you
lot.
see, that Porsche is now 8 seconds in front of us. That Porsche there in P10. So very frustrating to lose
Did not
so
like that
much
curve
time
at all.
through the pit stop.
I'm sure
But
that Porsche
it was really my own fault
just
not
behind
having
me
the
at the pit
starter
stop.
ready, because some
Now 8
endurance
seconds
races
ahead.
we are able to start the
Really
car
messed
before
up
it comes off the jack.
the pit stops,
So
that's for
that
sure.
didn't work. I
I
messed
know
up the
I
pit
messed up the
entry,
pit
and I
stop,
forgot
but
to
I've lost
untick
3
the damage as well.
by like
So it was
10
my fault, but it was
seconds.
just very frustrating to have messed up the pit stop so bad. As you see,
Didn't think I messed
Porsche
up
absolutely
that
miles
much.
ahead of us. So we lost, I think, 3
Nice.
positions over the pit stop. So we were P7,
still leading.
dropped down to P10, which is
That's
very
fantastic.
frustrating.
Oh, guy in front of
Anyway,
me
we're
just spinned
pushing
it.
to catch the Audi, and he
Reposition.
spins in front of us. Big spin, very nearly avoided him there. And that gives us a free position up into P9 with 13.5 minutes to go of this race. No track limit warnings yet. We seem to not be getting any in the wet, which was surprising. So we were able to just push hard. Anyway, 13 minutes later, the Audi didn't get any damage, just overheated his tyres.
Yep,
Had some good pace, caught us up again. This is final lap. Goes for the outside, going into the hairpin of, I think, Sector 1 or Sector 2. Goes for the hairpin. We're able to hold him off there, but he's right behind me. He's really pushing to try and get this move done. So I've got to try and not mess up on these greasy conditions and keep him behind me. As you see, being very defensive through the left-hander. Not many places to overtake now unless he sends it into the chicane or the final 2 corners. This little section here, very difficult to get move. As you see, he tries to send it on me there. Tries to get a bit closer coming into the chicane. But as you see, he clipped a bit too much curve on the apex, lost the traction, and then as you see, actually lost time. So now we've only got the final 2 corners to go to keep him behind us. And as you see, he's down to about, I think, 4 tenths behind us. So we've pretty much sealed the P9, but we've got to keep it smooth, because with these greasy track conditions, very easy to get on the throttle too hard and completely lose the rear of the car. So we still got to be a bit cautious. Coming out of the final corner though, he goes a bit wide, and that is it. We get our P9. Not a great position, but first round of the championship, first race with my new wheel and a new car, the Audi R8. So I was happy with the result overall. Very difficult conditions as well, but a fantastic job to my teammate David getting P1 today, or for the race, which was fantastic by him. And then my other teammate Luciano getting P6, and then I got P9. So it was a great result for Ballas Esports. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you again next time.